going to continue reading in Genesis chapters 45 through 47. We're reading from the scriptures from the Institute for Scripture Research. And Joseph was unable to restrain himself before all those who stood by him, and he called out, "Have everyone go out from me." So no one stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. And he wept aloud, and the Mitzrites and the house of Pharaoh heard it. And Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" But his brothers were unable to answer him, for they trembled before him. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Please come near to me." And when they came near, he said, "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Mitzrayim. And now do not be grieved nor displeased with yourselves because you sold me here, for Elohim sent me before you to preserve life. For 2 years now the scarcity of food has been in the land, and there are still 5 years in which there is neither plowing nor harvesting. And Elohim sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant in the earth, and to give life to you by a great escape. So then, you did not send me here, but Elohim, and he has set me for a father to Pharaoh, and master of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Hurry and go up to my father and say to him, 'Thus says your son Joseph, Elohim has made me master of all Mitzrayim. Come down to me, do not delay. And you shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and be near to me, you and your children, your children's children, your flocks and your herds, and all that you have. And I shall provide for you there, lest you and your household and all that you have come to poverty, because 5 years of scarcity of food are still to come. And look, your eyes and the eyes of my brother Benjamin see that it is my mouth that speaks to you. And you shall inform my father of all my esteem in Mitzrayim, and of all that you have seen, and you shall hurry and bring my father down here." And he fell on his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. And he kissed all his brothers and wept over them. And after that his brothers spoke with him, and the report of it was heard by the house of Pharaoh, saying, "The brothers of Joseph have come." And it was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of his servants. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Say to your brothers, do this, load your beasts and go, enter the land of the Canaan, and take your father and your households, and come to me, and I give you the best of the land of Mitzrayim, and you eat the fat of the land. And you have been commanded, do this, take wagons out of the land of Mitzrayim for your little ones and your wives, and you shall bring your father and come. And do not be concerned about your goods, for the best of all the land of Mitzrayim is yours." And the sons of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons, according to the mouth of Pharaoh, and he gave them food for the journey. He gave to them, all of them, to each man, changes of garments. But to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver, and 5 changes of garments. And he sent to his father this, 10 donkeys loaded with the best of Mitzrayim, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain, and bread, and food for his father for the journey. So he sent his brothers away, and they left, and he said to them, "Do not quarrel along the way." And they went up out of Mitzrayim, and came to the land of Canaan, to Yaakov their father. And they told him, saying, "Joseph is still alive, and he is governor over all the land of Mitzrayim." And Yaakov's heart ceased, for he did not believe them. But when they spoke to him all the words which Joseph had spoken to them, and when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to transport him, the spirit of Yaakov their father revived. And Israel said, "Enough! My son Joseph is still alive. Let me go and see him before I die." 46. And Israel set out with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and slaughtered slaughterings to the Elohim of his father Yitzchak. And Elohim spoke to Israel in the vision of the night, and said, "Yaakov, Yaakov." And he said, "Here I am." And he said, "I am the Elohim of your father. Do not be afraid to go down to Mitzrayim, for I shall make you there into a great nation. I myself am going down with you to Mitzrayim, and I myself shall certainly bring you up again, and let Joseph put his hand on your eyes." And Yaakov rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel brought their father Yaakov and their little ones and their wives in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to transport him. And they took their livestock and their property which they had acquired in the land of Canaan, and came into Mitzrayim, Yaakov and all his seed with him. His sons and his sons' sons, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed he brought with him to Mitzrayim. And these were the names of the children of Israel. Yaakov and his sons, who came into Mitzrayim. Reuben was Yaakov's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben, Hanok, and Palu, and Hetzron, and Carmi, and the sons of Shimon, Yemuel, and Yamin, and Ohad, and Yakin, and Zohar, and Shaul, son of a Canaanite woman. And the sons of Levi, Gershon, Kehath, and Merari. And the sons of Yehuda, and Onan, and Shelah, and Peretz, and Zerah. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Peretz were Hetzron, and Hamul. And the sons of Issachar, Tola, and Puvah, and Yov, and Shimron. And the sons of Zebulun, Sered, and Elon, and Yahleel. These were the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Yaakov in Padan Aram, with his daughter Dinah. All the beings, his sons and his daughters, were 33. And the sons of Gad, Ziphion, and Hagi, Shuni, and Etzban, Eri, and Arodi, and Areli. And the sons of Asher, Yimnah, and Yishva, and Yishvi, and Bariah, and Sarah, their sister. And the sons of Bariah, Haver, and Malkiel. These were the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah, his daughter, and these she bore to Yaakov, 16 beings. The sons of Rachel, Yaakov's wife, Yosef, and Benjamin. And to Yosef, in the land of Mitzrayim, were born Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bore to him. And the sons of Benjamin, Bela, and Becher, and Ashvel, Gera, and Naaman, Ehi, and Rosh, Mupim, and Hupim, and Ard. These were the sons of Rachel, who were born to Yaakov, 14 beings in all. And the son of Dan, Hushim, and the sons of Naphtali, Yatzael, and Guni, and Yetzer, and Shilem. These were the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban gave to Rachel his daughter, and she bore these to Yaakov, 7 beings in all. All the beings who went with Yaakov to Mitzrayim, who came from his body, besides Yaakov's sons' wives, were 66 beings in all. And the sons of Yosef were born to him in Mitzrayim were 2 beings. All the beings of the house of Yaakov who went to Mitzrayim were 70. And he sent Yehuda before him to Yosef to point out before him the way to Goshen. And they came to the land of Goshen. And Yosef made ready his chariot and went up to Goshen to meet his father Israel. And he appeared to him and fell on his neck and wept on his neck for a long time. And Israel said to Yosef, Now let me die, since I have seen your face, that you are still alive. And Yosef said to his brothers and to his father's household, I am going up to inform Pharaoh and say to him, My brothers and those of my father's house who were in the land of Canaan have come to me. And the men are shepherds, that they have been men of livestock, and they have brought their flocks and their herds, and all that they have. And it shall be when Pharaoh calls you and says, What is your occupation? That you shall say, Your servants have been men of livestock from our youth, even till now, both we and also our fathers, so that you dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Mitzrites. Then Yosef went and spoke to Pharaoh, and said, My father and my brothers, their flocks and their herds, and all that they possess have come from the land of Canaan, and see, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took 5 men from among his brothers and presented them to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to his brothers, What is your occupation? And they said to Pharaoh, Your servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. And they said to Pharaoh, We have come to dwell in the land because there is no pasture for your servants' flocks, for the scarcity of food is severe in the land of Canaan. And now please let your servants sojourn in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spoke to Yosef, saying, Your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Mitzrayim is before you. Settle your father and brothers in the best of the land. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. And if you know of capable men among them, then make them chief herdsmen over my livestock. And Yosef brought in his father Yaakov and set him before Pharaoh, and Yaakov blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Yaakov, How old are you? And Yaakov said to Pharaoh, The days of the years of my sojournings are 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not reached the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their sojournings. And Yaakov blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. So Yosef settled his father and his brothers, and gave them a possession in the land of Mitzrayim, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph provided his father and his brothers and all his father's household with bread for the mouth of the little ones. Now there was no bread in all the land, because the scarcity of food was very severe. And the land of Mitzrayim and all the land of Canaan became exhausted from the scarcity of food. And Joseph gathered up all the silver that was found in the land of Mitzrayim and in the land of Canaan for the grain which they bought. And Joseph brought the silver into Pharaoh's house. And when the silver was all spent in the land of Mitzrayim and in the land of Canaan, all the Mitzrites came to Joseph and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the silver is gone." And Joseph said, "Give your livestock, and I give you bread for your livestock, if the silver is gone." So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses and for the flocks they owned, and for the herds they owned, and for the donkeys. Thus he fed them with bread in exchange for all their livestock that year. And when that year had ended, they came to him the next year and said to him, "We do not hide from my master that our silver is all spent, and my master also has the livestock we owned. There has not been left any before my master but our bodies and our lands. Why should we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and let us and our land be servants of Pharaoh, and give us seed, and let us live and not die. And give us seed, and let us live and not die, and let the land not lie waste." And Joseph bought the entire land of Mitzrayim for Pharaoh, because every man of the Mitzrites sold his field, because the scarcity of food was severe upon them. And the land came to be Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he moved them into the cities, from one end of the borders of Mitzrayim to the other end. Only the ground of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had from what Pharaoh gave them by law, and they ate that which Pharaoh gave them by law. Therefore they did not sell their ground. And Joseph said to the people, "Look, I have bought you and your land today for Pharaoh. Look, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. And it shall be that in the harvest you shall give 1/5 to Pharaoh, and 4/5 is your own, as seed for the field and for your food, for those of your households, and as food for your little ones." And they said, "You have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the eyes of my master, and we shall become Pharaoh's servants." And Joseph made it a law over the land of Mitzrayim to this day that Pharaoh should have 1/5, except for the ground of the priests only, which did not become Pharaoh's. And Israel dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim in the land of Goshen, and they had possessions there, and were fruitful, and increased exceedingly. And Yaakov lived in the land of Mitzrayim 17 years, so the length of Yaakov's life was 147 years. And the time for Israel to die drew near, and he called his son Joseph and said to him, "Now, if I have found favor in your eyes, please put your hand under my thigh and show loving commitment and truth to me. Please do not bury me in Mitzrayim, but I shall lie with my fathers, and you shall take me up out of Mitzrayim and bury me in their burial place." And he said, "I do as you have said." And he said, "Swear to me." And he swore to him. And Israel bowed himself on the head of the bed.